Mirrorwatch limited time event was a success on so many levels. But there was one huge glaring issue: the lack of lore. Let's have a look. The Mirrorwatch event has been one of the most fun and overall successful limited time game modes that we have seen in Overwatch 2. And if you think about it, it is rather atypical that this type of event has so much success in this community. Because overall, we are not the biggest fans of change. As a group, we have the tendency to whip out the tar and feathers as soon as Blizzard mentions experiments, balancing, or reworks. But on the other hand, the April Fool's event and this Mirrorwatch event were pretty big hits. Look, a lot of us, including myself, seemed very keen to see some of these changes that we got in those game modes making their way into the main game. So overall, a success. But, yeah, there always is a but, isn't there? Alright, that sounded really wrong. Blizzard, when you do an event like this, where you serve as a twist on existing heroes, on the canon lore, like you did in Starwatch and in this Mirrorwatch event, we need lore. It can be a written story, it can be a comic, it could be a short animation, I don't care. Even a puppet show at this point would have been nice, because otherwise it just becomes this kind of fancy dressed up April Fool's event. Still fun, beautiful skins, but on the other hand the community is left with so many questions. It is such a missed opportunity. Look, I get it. Doing these animated shorts, writing these stories, it all costs money. And you need people to do all of that, which they don't have because they fired about half of the Raiders team. But on the other hand, it would have been such a solid investment because the Overwatch community is unique. Unique in the fact that its players, especially the casual ones, but even some of those players that play at the highest level, are drawn to Overwatch because of its heroes and their stories. That's why the Archives missions were so popular, and why we all rallied behind that idea of adding PvE to Overwatch. But that isn't happening. PvE is dead, we know that. However, can we get a little bit of story for events like this? It would buy you a lot of credit with the community. It is important to understand your audience, and you want to push as many of their buttons as you can, especially those that are an easy win. And this would have been an easy win. I did a video myself before the event started in which I started theory crafting on where the timeline might have split and what actually happened, which in the end resulted in some heroes getting certain skins while others were nowhere to be seen. I'll leave a link to that video below. Check it out. When the event rolled out without any media about the Mirrorverse, a lot of us assumed that somewhere at Blizzard HQ there's a hard drive that has a single document on it called Mirrorwatch Lore. Anna got drunk one night and convinced Reinhardt to join Talon. You know, like eloping to Vegas to get married. They just joined a terrorist organization. But now, I'm thinking that there's not even a file like that. See, during an interview with Skisty, Dion Rogers, the art director for Overwatch, talked about their process and how they figured out which heroes would be getting a skin. And to be fair, it really sounded like it was, extremely random. There wasn't much story behind it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming Dion. He's amazing, he's awesome. But it does feel like they just took a huge stack of concept arts, they looked at them and they put them on the yes and no pile. Yeah. That could work fine for any other game or maybe another Overwatch season, but not this one. Just as much as Overwatch players want to see game design with purpose, we want to see the same thing with the story and with the lore, no matter how big or how small that story is. Again, it's such a missed opportunity. Those stories could have made those skins timeless. And I have to say, it also kind of makes me worry about the future of lore and storytelling within Overwatch. Even the canon stuff. I mean, PvE left a huge gap in the game, in the team, and in the budget. And yeah, it takes time to reorganize, to find that new level at which you want to move forward with all of this, with the lore. But I do hope it's going to be higher than it was in Overwatch 1. And low-hanging fruit like this one, it's just an easy win. I have some other ideas on how they might share canon lore in the future, but I'll make a separate video on that. For now, we want these types of events to have a better story impact. And I think you can take that along to other seasons, because in the end, all those other seasons are also, in some way, different universes. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. For now, however, that was it. A huge thank you to my patrons. I could not make these videos without you guys. You have my eternal gratitude. Check out this video on possible future themes for Overwatch 2. Click it. But above all, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.